You ever feel like you're doing everything right, yet somehow everything still feels a little wrong? Like you check all the boxes, get the degree, land the job, chase the dream, fall in love, get married, start a family. Supposed to feel fulfilling, but deep inside something whispers, this isn't it. And I know that feeling too well because I've been there. I've been married 3 times. I've fallen in love more times than I care to count. And I've been broken by it, rebuilt by it, and broken again. I'm not here to trash love. I still believe in it. But marriage, not the way it's sold to us. Speed, that idea of tying yourself to someone forever based on who you both are in a single moment, that's not romance. Speed, that's roulette. And you've got to ask yourself, are you marrying because it's right for you or because the world told you it's what you should do? Now, I know this might sound strange coming from me. I've always been a romantic. I love deeply speed, but here's what no one told me back then and what almost cost me everything. Speed, don't get married not the way the world tells you to, not when you're lonely. Not because you're afraid of ending up alone. P, not to prove you're lovable, and definitely not because it's time. You want to know why most people feel trapped in life. It's not their job. It's not the economy. It's not even the fear of failure. It's marriage, the wrong kind. Marriage that came too soon. Marriage that wasn't aligned. Marriage that was built on fantasy, not foundation. I've cried in private planes, not because I lost money, but because I was sitting next to someone I loved, peed, knowing we were galaxies apart, and I had no idea how to fix it. Peed. I remember nights in giant houses where I felt smaller than ever because love had become a negotiation, a power play, a survival game. And the truth is sometimes the most painful thing in life is realizing you gave your heart to someone while you hadn't even learned how to carry your own speed. So in this conversation, I want to tell you everything no one told me, everything I had to learn through failure, pain, and brutal honesty. This is not just a warning. It's a blueprint for freedom, for truth, for a real connection at a high speed. By the end of this episode, you're not just going to hear why not to marry Peed. You're going to understand yourself on a deeper level. And you'll walk away with something most people never get: clarity, power, and the peace of making decisions rooted in truth, not tradition. So whether you're married now, thinking about it, healing from it, or just feeling lost, stay with me, because this might be the conversation that saves you from 10 years of pain and gives you back the next 10 of purpose. All right, Peed. Let's go back to the beginning, to when I thought marriage would complete me and how that belief nearly destroyed me. Pete, I met Justine when I was still trying to figure out who I was. A young guy with big dreams, no money, no real direction yet. But I knew I wanted to build something big, something that mattered. And I thought love would be the anchor. Speed. Something stable in the chaos, something human in the middle of all the tech and ambition. Justine was brilliant, strong, a writer, and I respected that about her. But what I didn't understand, Peed, what I couldn't see back then, was how love and vision sometimes live on different timelines. We had our son, Nevada, high speed, and when we lost him, everything cracked. There's a grief that doesn't make noise. It just sits inside your chest. And when two people grieve differently, it can drive a canyon between you. I buried myself in work because building was the only place where I felt in control. But love doesn't work that way. Pete, she needed presence. I gave Puna. She wanted connection. I gave plans. And I don't blame her. Speed. I don't blame myself either. We were just two people in pain, speaking completely different emotional languages. Speed. Eventually, that marriage ended, and here's where it got even harder because I didn't heal. I jumped. I met Tula Riley soon after Pede. And honestly, I wasn't ready. She was kind, soft, different from Justine. And I thought maybe that's what I need. But what I really needed was myself. Still, we got married, then divorced, then married again. That should tell you how confused I was inside, how desperate I was not to be alone. See, loneliness is a loud voice. And when you don't know how to sit with it, you'll fill the silence with someone else's presence. But here's what no one tells you. Being with the wrong person feels more alone than being by yourself ever could. We were living in different emotional universes. I wanted connection, but I didn't know how to ask for it. She wanted stability, but my life was anything but that. And every argument, every distance, every little misunderstanding, it chipped away at who I was. I started becoming smaller to try and make the relationship work. That's the part people don't talk about. Sometimes in relationships, you don't just lose love, you lose yourself. And that's the moment that broke me. Not the divorce, not the heartbreak, but the moment I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize who I'd become. I was still building Tesla, still leading SpaceX, still innovating, pushing boundaries, hiring brilliant minds. But in my personal life, I was lost, exhausted, emotionally bankrupt. I was achieving externally and disintegrating internally. So here's what I learned the hard way, and I hope this saves someone years of confusion. Never marry from emptiness. Never marry because you're afraid of facing yourself. Because if you're not whole before the relationship, you'll bleed on the person you're with. They won't know how to carry that. And they're not supposed to. Marriage can't fix loneliness. It magnifies it. Have you ever been in a room with someone you love but felt completely invisible? Invisible. That's a different kind of H. And if you don't address the root cause, you'll just keep repeating the same story with different faces. After Tala, and I separated for the last time, I had to sit with that ache. And that was the beginning of something new. That was the start of asking harder questions. Not about love, but about me. What did I actually believe? What kind of life was I building? And who would I become if I stopped chasing someone to complete me? That's when everything began to shift. So let me ask you something. Are you running toward love or running from yourself? Are you choosing someone because they inspire you or because they distract you? Because when you're clear about that high speed, that's when you stop dating wounds and start building with intention. Let's talk about the lie. The one you've been fed since you were a kid, that marriage equals success. That if you don't have a ring by 30, something's wrong. That love should hurt. That struggle